Hey guys, what's up? It's Big Coming to you from GNA today. So in this video today, what I want to do is I want to answer the question of why do I own so many 22 LR rifles? America! But seriously, I want to answer that question today. Why do I own so many 22 rifles? I recently put up my Tactical 22 LR collection update where I showed all those. And Arizona Shooter 66, I believe, is his YouTube handle, asked, why do I have so many? And I want to answer that question because it does come up. Alright, first thing I want to do is I want to discuss some reasons that I think other people think that I buy these type of rifles that really has nothing to do with my rationale in buying 22 rifles. Okay, first thing, I think some people may think that I'm scared of centerfire rifles or whatever, and that's definitely not the case. Here's my AR-15 chambered in 7.62x39, my Zastava OPAP, my Palmetto State PA-10 AR-10 shooting 308, 7.62x51, and my AR-15s that shoot 5.56, 223. I'm not scared at all to shoot those. In fact, I love to shoot centerfire. It's fun. Okay, another reason that people think I buy it that has nothing to do with it is I do not believe that the 22 LR is the best defensive round or the best offensive round. Okay, another thing, I don't buy these as an investment. And I mean investment in the sense of me like buying stocks where I expect in 30 years or whatever, 20, 30 years that it'll be worth 4 or 5 or maybe 10 times what I put into it. Okay, another reason that people may think that I buy these is they may think that I'm like trying to buy enough rifles so I can create my own little army. Like if something bad happens that I'll have all these guns that I can start handing to people and we'll be our own little militia with all of our little 22 rifles. That's not why I buy it. Okay, now I want to talk for a little bit about reasons that do contribute to my thinking of why I buy these. Now I want you to pay attention to the title of the video. This video is why I have so many 22 LR rifles. And I was very specific about it, and I was very thoughtful of whenever I was making this title, because I want you to understand this is why I buy 22 rifles. This video is not why you should buy 22 L rifles or why you should buy as many as I have. Okay, so I don't want somebody to come and watching this video and thinking, oh, he's saying I'm stupid if I don't buy a bunch of 22s. So one of the first reasons why I buy these type of rifles, all these 22 rifles, is because the rifle itself is relatively cheap. Like this Rock Island MiG-22 right here, I bought it for $199 brand new. This thing has nearly close to a 1 pound trigger. It's between 1 pound and 1.5 pounds. It's just a incredibly accurate rifle. I mean, it definitely has its faults, but $199 for a pretty cool rifle. Okay, the second reason is very close related to that first reason, and it has to do with how cheap the ammunition is. And so whenever I'm out on the range and I'm shooting a centerfire rifle, like some of these that I showed you, every time I pull that trigger, and I know every time I pull that trigger that I'm throwing a quarter out the end of the barrel, that's what I visualize. It's like there goes a quarter, there goes another quarter, or maybe every time I pull the trigger there's 2 quarters. It's hard for me to do that, and it really does kill the fun. And I wish I could get past that, because I honestly do like shooting centerfire. It's fun. But when I'm shooting it, I'm visualizing, man, there goes a dollar bill when I pull the trigger, or there goes a quarter. And I just can't get my mind past that, and it kills the fun. But whenever I pull the trigger and I throw a nickel out the end of the barrel, my cheapskate mind is way better able to deal with that. 22 rifles can act as training tools. Now, I know all of a sudden, as soon as I say that, red flag's going up, and somebody's saying, oh, you idiot, nope, not even close. I know that the recoil between this 22 rifle and this centerfire rifle right here, this 308 AR-10, I know the recoil is not even close. This thing is pretty stout, and I know that you can get them that have way more recoil than this rifle does, but I know that this does not simulate the recoil of this rifle. I would never argue that point. I understand that. But there's lots of other things that it does simulate. Number one, this rifle is pretty close in shape to that rifle that shoots 308 that I just put down. It's the same size. So I still have to stand in the same stance, like with how long this is. I have to stand properly, not only just my whole body, but just the way that I hold the rifle. It's going to have the same length of pull, basically. This rifle, especially the 15-22, it's so close to an AR-15, all the functions are still the same. So it trains me how to charge, I know where my safety's at and get used to that. The mag release is exactly the same. Sight acquisition. All right, with this I just have these mag pull flip up sights. That's the exact same thing as I would on an AR-15 or some huge caliber rifle. The exact same sights I would be using. So I'm practicing lining up my sights. And then also trigger pull. With this, I could put in the trigger, same trigger as what I have on any of my ARs. I could put it right in here and have the exact same trigger. Another reason that I like to buy 22 LR rifles is because I deal with lots of kids. I've got my own kids, I've got nephews, I've got friends who have kids. And, I'm fortunate enough that I can own several rifles. And, whenever I'm dealing with these kids and going out to the range with them, it's fun for me to have a rifle. I mean, most of them have their own, but it's fun for me to have these different kind of rifles and for them to think, oh, man, that's cool. And for them to be able to shoot that rifle. And training a kid on that, where a kid's not necessarily going to start out on a centerfire, but I can have these guns and they can have fun with it. Of course, always being safe, but you know what I mean, the type of fun that everybody has when they're shooting a firearm. I can do that with these kids. Something else to consider. People collect weird things. I mean, you can just think about all the collections that people have of stuff that you think, why in the world do you do that? But they do it because they enjoy it. Think about somebody who collects shot glasses. Little shot glasses. They go to a different town. They go to a state they've never been to. They pick up 2 or 3 shot glasses while they're there. And they collect them. And you look at that and think, well, that's weird. Why would you do that? Well, to them, it makes sense. They enjoy it. But do you think a person who buys those shot glasses buys them because they think that shot glass is superior or would hold more liquid than having a full-size glass? No. Do you think they buy those shot glasses because they think one day maybe if things get so bad we won't be able to buy cups anymore and at least I'll have these shot glasses and I'll be able to drink from that? No, they don't buy it because of that. They just buy it because they enjoy it. They enjoy the thrill of the hunt, finding oddities, finding different things, different things that distinguishes this shot glass from that one, and exact same thing here. Another thing that we forget, especially in America, is how good we have it. And we should really think about how blessed we are in America as far as our gun rights go. All these centerfire rifles I have sitting down here, most people in the world today, there's no way they could get these. Legally, anyways. They wouldn't be able to buy them in their country. And so there's a lot of people in the world today who this is what they can get. They can get a 15-22. And, well, I guess there's some places like Australia that I think can't even buy a semi-auto 22. It'd have to be a bolt action. But there's a lot of places in the country where a 15-22 is about the best, most tactical gun that they can hope to buy. And so, to me, in my YouTube channel, it's fun to be able to have guns like this and to be able to present information about them to people in the world who don't have the freedoms that we have, and where they can find a place to, about these type of guns that they can have themselves. Another thing is, whenever I was growing up, my dad took me and my brother out shooting, and primarily we shot 22. In fact, that's nearly what we always shot, was 22. And one reason for that is we didn't have a lot of money as I was growing up. And so it had been pretty hard for Dad to swing by and buy, a bunch of centerfire rounds. But it'd be easy for him to swing by Walmart and buy one of those little skull cans of 22, and we could go out and, have some fun with that, and that would be financially feasible for us to be able to do that. So I grew up shooting 22. People talk about comfort food. They grew up eating a certain type of food, and so even though it doesn't make sense now, they still enjoy that food. Same thing with this. I grew up shooting 22. Okay, last thing. Why does this hobby or preparation or pursuit or whatever you want to call it of buying guns and accessories and stuff related to this, why does it always have to be so serious? It's like whenever you talk to people about having an Android phone or having an iOS phone, and people getting all bent out of shape about whether Android or iOS is better and getting into fights about that. That just does not make sense. It's like, why do you take it so seriously that we have to get into a fight about that? And I'm sure we could break that down into the psychology of why that happens, but I mean, if you just step back and just think about it, it is crazy. And so whenever people are all critical about the type of gun that you buy, why do we have to be so serious about that? Now, with that said, I do take this seriously. I mean, I take firearm safety seriously. I take my collection seriously, especially about protecting my family. I do take that serious. But just in general, why do we have to freak out about what guns another person buys? You know, think about the guy who is watching this video and he has 20 real AR-556 ARs sitting around him, and him watching this video thinking, how stupid are you to have that many 22 rifles? Okay, so think about that guy with his 20 or 30 AR-15s. And if you have that, man, you rock. Okay, honestly, I'm not saying that to patronize you. You rock. I don't have a problem with that. But honestly, think about that. Do you really need 10 real AR-15s? Do you need 20 real AR-15s? And I know there's somebody who's saying yes, and they could give me an hour-long dissertation on why they need that many. But, I mean, for the most part, for 99.9% of the population, do you really need 10 or 20 ARs? Probably not. So why do you have 20 AR-15s? It's not because it's for a practical reason. It's because you enjoy collecting them. It's because you like buying them and you like putting on different handguards, having different color rifles, putting on different optics. You like it, you enjoy it because it's fun. That's why you do that. That's why you have 20 AR-15s, or that's why you have 20 AKs. I wish I had 20 ARs and 20 AKs. I really do, but I mean, I don't. So that's the main reason that I buy these rifles. They are fun. I enjoy them. It's a blast. It's fun. I enjoy it for my kids because it's cheaper. All of that type of stuff. That's why I have so many 22 rifles. And if you have 20 AKs and 20 AR-15s, more power to you. And we'll all collect. We'll all have fun. This video today is about why I own so many 22 rifles. This is B coming to you from GNA Today. Thanks for watching.